Class, stand. Please stand and welcome Class 178.
About face. Ready? Step.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Ready? Step. Colors turn. March.
Please be seated.
Class 178, 60.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the entire staff of the Mississippi State Fire Academy, we'd like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony of the National Fire Protection Association 1001, class number 178. Before we begin our ceremony today, I would like to call on firefighter recruit Jacob Freeland from the Moss Point Fire Department for our invocation.
At this time, if you would bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you right now, give you the glory that you deserve for allowing Class 178 to be here all with family. Heavenly Father, I just ask that you take What we've learned this past 7 weeks, we take it back to our communities and our cities to better the people that we serve. Heavenly Father, if there's anybody out here in this audience tonight that is hurting or has a family member in the hospital or anything like that, that we lift them up right now. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for everything. We pray that everybody, when they leave here today, safe travels. In your gracious name, amen.
Seven weeks ago, these young men came to the State Fire Academy to begin their careers in the fire service. I'm sure they had heard, they had read from just about everybody within the Brotherhood of the Fire Service what it would take to be a member of a fire department. The hard work, the teamwork, the dedication, the courage, and the sacrifice that goes along with being a firefighter. All of these guys came here representing the future of the fire service of our great state. And they came here from across the state of Mississippi, from the northern part of our state, the Olive Branch Fire Department, Clarksdale Fire Department, Holly Springs Fire Department, Senatobia Fire Department, Oxford Fire Department, Indianola Fire Department, Tupelo Fire Department, and West Point Fire Department. From the central part of our state, the Jackson Fire Department, Madison Fire Department, Gluckstadt Fire Department, Flowood Fire Department, Canton Fire Department, Collins Fire Department, and Laurel Fire Department. Dancing with the Stars also, as you can see. From the southern part of our state, Macomb Fire Department, Hattiesburg Fire Department, Ocean Springs Fire Department, and Moss Point Fire Department. Let's give them all a hand. Guys, from me to you, if I can leave you with anything, let me just say how proud we are of your achievements here in these last 7 weeks. You started your careers in one of the most honored but yet hazardous professions anywhere in the world. Every year since September the 11th, 2001, and we all know what happened that day, firefighting has been ranked as the #1 most prestigious occupation in America, followed by teachers and scientists. And again, guys, this puts you in a very elite group of people. Each year, firefighting ranks in the top 5 as the most dangerous, hazardous occupation in the world. It's usually #1, but outside of wartime. Just recently, in a Forbes study, firefighting ranked as the #2 most stressful occupation there is. Guys, everything that you've learned over these 7 weeks, you're going to need and continue to learn as you move through. You came here to learn the knowledge and skills that it would take to be a firefighter. We have given you the fundamentals of that. You're going to be learning throughout the rest of your career. You were trained to make a positive difference when literally seconds count. When people are having the absolute worst day of their life and they look to you to give them some sense of normalcy again. You were taught 3 things here in the last 7 weeks: to save lives, to save property, but most importantly, to do it safely. If I can tell you anything, never forget the people that supported you, not only in these 7 weeks, but in your entire career. Your family, your friends, the mayors of your communities, the fire chiefs, your fire departments, the instructors, not only these, but the ones that you'll have throughout your life. But lastly, the citizens that you're sworn to protect. Never forget those. Guys, this is your State Fire Academy. From this point forward, I want to encourage you to continue to learn and excel as you move through your career. This very well could be the difference that brings you home safely to your family at night. Good luck to each one of you, and thank you for choosing the fire service. God bless you.
Good afternoon, and just like Director Bell mentioned to you, welcome to the State Fire Academy. The State Fire Academy trains around 16,000 firefighters from all over the world each year. There's 3 instructional bureaus here at the Academy that represent 28 full-time instructors on campus. The Certification Bureau is charged with delivering a wide variety of classes across the state for our firefighters and fire service. They teach classes they range from the fire instructor program to the fire officer program to fire inspector programs, and also the firefighter basic recruit class. So let me take just a second. I'm going to introduce these individuals over here, and we may just have them stand up and clap and spin around when we get them to stand up here. But we'll start back on the back is Senior Advanced Instructor Clarence Parks. I would cheer for him if it was me out there, but no. Senior Instructor Sean Sinclair. Senior Advanced Instructor Marcus Collier. Senior Instructor Matt Hinkle. Instructor Sydney Malone. Instructor Barry Burnside. On the stage behind me, Senior Advanced Instructor Rob Fisher. And the class coordinator for this firefighter class is Senior Advanced Instructor Bill Trimble. Lastly, our administrative assistant, Miss Rebecca Cahoon, is here also. But again, join me one final round of applause for these guys. The fortunate thing about it, and I want you to take this back at home at night when you sleep, is that your loved ones were trained by the very best in the business. That's these guys right here. So thank you, guys. That could be the most praise I think they've ever received, so that's good for them. Guys, just a couple words to you guys as y'all get out of here. First off, let me thank you, each of y'all, for deciding that one day that, hey, I'm going to fill out an application to come to the fire department. You making that decision puts you in a very, very special class of people. That small 1% of Americans that say, hey, I'm going to choose to serve my fellow man. You have a little trait inside each of y'all that represents a small fiber that comes out at times, and it's called courage. We're not talking about the kind of courage it may take you to not order a cheeseburger and order a salad or get up an extra few minutes in the morning to get a little exercise, but that kind of courage has got to come to you at 2 o'clock in the morning when someone's life's on the line. A loved one has stopped breathing, or someone's trapped in a car wreck, or someone's house is on fire. You see, you guys have that trait. Our law enforcement officers have that trait. Our military has that trait. You guys possess it. Thank you for answering that call inside to say, hey, I think I'll serve. Never forget the reason why you're here. One of the few moments I think back in time, I think about my dad holding my little boy, and they were outside the other day looking at the stars. And my dad was trying to explain to my youngest one how the stars work and how he used to fly planes, and he would navigate by using the stars. And they started talking about them for a while, and I didn't really pay attention and didn't really click till my little boy said, well, Poppy, where does the stars go in the daytime? Where are they? He said, well, they're always there. Just because you don't see them doesn't mean they're not there. You take that same oath that you stand up when times are the darkest for people, and you blend back into our communities and our neighborhoods when everything comes back to normal and there's light back. You have that special calling and that special trait. Thank you for choosing the fire service. Good luck to each of you, and don't be a stranger to the Fire Academy. Good luck.
I don't remember them saying I'd have to watch a man take his last breath with his wife and daughter at his chest, or to see a family's home go up in flames, knowing they just lost everything. But we've got to know we did our best. Go on and don't worry about the past. Try to make a difference in this crazy world today. 'Cause you know God made us that way. I never thought I'd see the terror in a mother's eyes as she watched her 15-year-old die. Or to feel the fire slap me in the face as it moves through this house at a steady pace. But we've got to know we did our best. Go on, don't worry about the past. Try to make a difference in this crazy world today. 'Cause you know God made us that way. And I hope to God I never have to see a brother fall in battle at a fire we can't defeat. We've got to know we did our best. Go on, don't worry about past. Try to make a difference in this crazy world today. 'Cause you know God made us that way. You know God made firefighters that way.
William Searcy, responsible for that video. Thank you, William. He's back there in the booth, kind of running this stuff, running the show. Thank you again, and a special thank you. I see Instructor Chief Shannon Sandridge back there that's responsible for the song. He wrote that song and played it. He wrote that song while he was in basic class here at the Academy. Okay, so again, special thank you. Shannon's back there on the back. This time I want to introduce our class speaker for class 178. It's Gregory White from the Clarksdale Fire Department. Gregory.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gregory White, and I will be the speaker on behalf of Class 178. Okay, to get into this, first and foremost, I would like to thank God because, man, this program was tough, like super tough. I'm talking about running, throwing up, as y'all seen the video. Like, it was just something else. But we wouldn't have got through it without God. It was a lot of praying, studying. I ain't going to say sleeping because we ain't get none of that. But, hey, we got through it. And next, I would like to thank our fire departments for sponsoring us because now we're considered to be heroes and everybody can't be a hero. So we some of the special few, but at the end of the day, we regular people. And third, I want to thank the Mississippi State Fire Academy for giving us all of these challenges because it was really tough, and that lets you show, that shows us that firefighters this isn't something that should just be given to you. I'm like, this is something that is earned. And I'm like, I really appreciate you, Instructor Trimble, for putting us through all of these challenges and making us run, even when we never really wanted to run. Because I know I never did because I was always at the front of the line. But you know how that go. I'm like, hey. Well, yeah, let me get into the speech. So, all right. So, when you say firefighter, what do you think about? I'm like, most people think that firefighting is just fighting fire, but being a firefighter, it's more than that. It's about accountability, personal accountability, and accountability for your brother, you know, because at the end of the day, we a family. And I'm like, we was just going over some statistics before we came in here about all of the firefighter suicides going on, and I'm like, that lets you know that we go through a lot and we see a lot and we can't unsee it. So it's a big deal, and I'm like, all we got to do is really talk it out within each other so that we can get this stuff off our chest, because at the end of the day, we still human beings. Even though this is a predominantly male job, even though that's the case, I'm like, we still got feelings, and that's the fact of the matter. All right. Oh, attention to detail. That's a big one. A lot of stuff, like small stuff, like for instance, scantrons. We had a big problem with that, but not a big problem, but it became a big problem. Like somebody will forget to put a one number. I'm like, okay, one number. That's just gonna be him, right? Think again. I'm like, all right, everybody outside, let's go. Friendly in the wrist. I'm like, oh my god, why us? Why us? Oh, okay, yeah. The stuff that we learned here, now that we've learned it, we can take it back to our communities and use it in a positive way, and really give our community something to be proud of. Um, this job requires empathy and commitment to the people of our communities. It was a scripture in the Bible. It's found at John 11:33 and 35, where it talks about Jesus being empathetic towards the people, Lazarus people. When Lazarus died, let me just read it off the paper. I'm sorry. The example comes from Jesus himself. It brings out how the atmosphere of people crying had Jesus groaning within himself and eventually giving way to tears over the death of Lazarus. So, like, just being around people, like in the worst situation of their lives, because at the end of the day, just like instructor chief was bringing out, like we run into people like on the worst day of their lives, somebody losing their property, or even worse, like losing family members in the fire. And I'm like, this is a big deal. So it's like we got to really be on our job and do the best that we can. Empathy is by far the best characteristic that we can inculcate into ourselves as we move forward in this career to yeah, and grow to love it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. All right. All right.
I'm gonna let him get back to his seat. Thank you. Again, thank you. And also, I want to say a special thank you to every one of you, family members, friends that have shown up today. And thank you for the support that you've shown each one of these guys over the 7 weeks. They've needed it for these 7 weeks, and they're going to need it a little bit longer throughout their career. Okay, so continue to pray, continue to bear with them, because these guys are going to be out there doing it. You're responsible for a lot of different things that you don't know anything about yet, because what you've got right now is just the basic stuff. Okay? Before we start with the class awards, and I know y'all are tired of hearing me talk for 7 weeks, but I'm going to say one more thing. Several of you mentioned dreams. When you introduced yourself to us the first day, several of you said, this was my dream to become a firefighter. This is what I wanted to be. This is my goal. Well, I'm going to lay a challenge out for you right here and now, okay? Every morning that the good Lord allows you to wake up, and he allows us to wake up, right?
Every morning that he allows us to wake up, you've got a choice of one of two things. You can either lay there and continue to sleep on your dreams, or you can get up and chase those dreams. You've taken the first step now. Continue, guys. Dream big and chase those dreams. Okay? Congratulations. I couldn't have done this without the staff at the Fire Academy here. Also, there's a kind of a go-between that we have to have, especially with this number of guys out there that all want to go in a different direction. Sometimes it's kind of like herding cats, I think. But we get them on the same page. I want to call up the class captain, Jeffrey Mung from the Collins Fire Department. Also, there were 3 lieutenants that we looked at. Harry Brown from the Indianola Fire Department. Malcolm Sanders II from Jackson Fire Department. And Harris Paul Williams from the Moss Point Fire Department. I put a lot on these guys because I walked in each morning and I gave them a task. And I said, I don't care how you do it, just do it. Just get it done. And that's what we have to do when we roll up on the scene. So no better time to start learning that than right here. Okay? Again, thank you very much, guys, for that. Y'all saw us taking tests, or you saw several of them taking tests. They take approximately, 38 tests while they're here in 7 weeks, and that's a lot. That's a lot of written tests. And that includes the certification tests that they have to pass, or they wouldn't be sitting here today. I want to give out a highest GPA award today because he carried himself very well throughout the class. He has the highest GPA and made the highest also on the certification test on the finals. This award goes to Jeffrey Mung from the Collins Fire Department. To say the second thing about being a firefighter, you got to be smart, right, guys? You got to be smart, but you also need to be physically fit, right? Y'all saw us running, doing push-ups, doing sit-ups, all that other stuff. We take a look at guys when they show up here first morning, and we periodically challenge them to do particular things, such as your running, your pull-ups, and all that. It came out in the wash when we took all the figures and put them all together and plugged them in the computer. Our most physically fit firefighter for Class 178 is Brady Miles Jr. from the Hattiesburg Fire Department. I think he challenged everyone in the class, I think. All right, good. Now, last but not least, when you leave here today, you will see the sign. If you look to your right before you go through the gate, it asks you a question. Have I made a difference today? Well, have you? The day's not over. So have you made a difference today? This next award, we like to call it our Director Reggie Bell Award. It is our Making a Difference Award. And this goes to a guy that carried himself throughout the class at a really high GPA also. He didn't say a whole lot. He led by example. He was very good physically, very good in the classroom. This award goes to Forrest Hendricks from the Olive Branch Fire Department. Okay, you saw what let us in. You saw on the video of a challenge that was put before them week 4. Is that right, guys? Yes, sir. About week 4. And you've already heard it when Greg talked about, I'm not going to give you anything while you're here. You have to earn it. You will get everything that you earn. So this, what led us in is our class flag, Class 178. I promise you they had to earn it because I gave them a time that I thought they could do it. But it took them a couple of opportunities to do that, but they accomplished that. So, Captain. Got it.
At this time, Class 178 will return our flag to the Mississippi State Fire Academy. Right, face, forward, march.
That flag that you just saw looks like a simple piece of nylon. But to the State Fire Academy and the Brotherhood of the Fire Service, that is Class 178. And that class will always be here at the Academy because you're always now part of the State Fire Academy. The State Fire Academy is a subdivision of the Mississippi Insurance Department. With us today is Insurance Commissioner and State Fire Marshal, Commissioner Mike Cheney.
Reggie never knows what I'm going to do when I come out here to see him. He first came to this academy in 1992. And unfortunately, and I may cry when I say this, he's going to retire at the end of June with a lot of years of service. I just want to tell you, this is the director of the #1 fire academy in the United States, Mr. Reggie Bell. Please give him a round of applause. I'm supposed to be introducing the speaker, but I just want to say it's not often you have a director that can get one of the largest corporations in America to come to this academy to be trained. And a lot of you guys know that, the 33 of you that are graduating today. It's an honor for us today to have as our speaker Representative Greg Snowden, a good friend of mine, 20 years in the Mississippi House of Representatives. He's a graduate, unfortunately, of Alabama and the School of Law. I didn't say that. By the way, we train a lot of Alabama people over here in Mississippi. We've got a great academy. But Greg is also a graduate of the School of Law at Vanderbilt University. He has many honors in the legislature, first elected in 1999, and he is Speaker Pro Temp of the Mississippi Legislature. So sometimes I have to call him Mr. Speaker. What's important for you to know is he handles part of our budget, our money part. So he's also a father of 2. He and his wife, father of 2 children. And I asked Greg a minute ago, I knew he had 6 or 7 grandchildren. He said, I've got 7.5, Cheney. That's a lot for an old man, and that'll be 8 very shortly. Please make welcome our honored speaker today, Representative Greg Snowden from Meridian, Mississippi.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Director Bell, your wonderful staff, instructors, and all the firefighters here, and family and friends and relatives. And most importantly, today, the men of Class 178. It's my great honor to be here. And I first and foremost want to assure you I'm not going to speak very long. because I've had the privilege to speak a few times to graduating classes at various things, and I've never had one yet where the people came to hear the speaker. And I may be wrong. Maybe we should have a show of hands. How many people came here to hear a politician talk? Yeah, that's about what I thought. So I'm not going to speak very long. I promise you this. And in fact, I wouldn't say much of anything at all, but I do have one important point to make that I want to make, and I want to expound a little bit and then come back to it again. But it's a short message, but it's an important message, and it's to the men of Class 178. And it's simply this. This is a big day for you. This is a huge accomplishment, something you can be proud of, something you'll remember the rest of your life. It's a big deal for your family and friends out here. But all that kind of goes without saying. I mean, it's self-evident. It's a big day for you. It's a big day for your family, a big day for your friends. But I want to remind you, this is a big day for your community and for your state because of the nature and the importance of what you do. Sure, it's big for you. Sure, it's big for your family. That's understandable. But I want you to know how important it is for your community and for your state. And I don't want you to forget that or ever doubt that. Okay? That's my message to you here today. And I want to say just a few quick things about firefighting, then kind of bring this point back around. You know, there is some evidence of fire equipment that has been dated back to the time of the Egyptians, the pharaohs. But we do know that the first organized firefighting effort, fire battalion, if you will, dates from the time of the Romans. Now, I know we haven't been that far since Christmas. If your church is like mine, you certainly read at some point during that Luke 2, right? People familiar with Luke 2, the story of the Christ child. You remember the reference to Caesar Augustus? In the days of Caesar Augustus, all the world would be taxed. Well, it was Caesar Augustus, and a few years before Jesus Christ was born, Caesar Augustus, in 24 BC, created the very first corps of firefighters in the city of Rome. They were referred to as watchmen. It was their duty. They were vigilantes, in effect. They were to watch for the danger of fires and to put out that fire. And they're generally recognized the first fire battalion, organized fire battalion in history in our own country. You know the stories probably of the bucket brigades in colonial times. You may not know that Benjamin Franklin organized a fire company in Philadelphia, and that George Washington and that Thomas Jefferson both served as volunteer firemen. It's an honored and ancient profession in world history and something that comes from us from our very beginning as a nation. And, you know, most of the 19th century, firefighting was a private enterprise. You would have professional brigades that sometimes they were rivals, and they basically were free contractors, would put out fires. The insurance companies would pay them for their work. And it wasn't really until the last part of the 19th century that firefighting really became a governmental function. But I want to say to this, and this gets back to my original point here, you cannot have a modern, successful, safe society without a successful firefighting organization. It's just essential. It has been throughout our history. It's even more so today. You cannot exist as a safe and secure society without a profession of firefighters. And that's the truth. And as Commissioner Bell recognized, I think very clearly and indicated with some polling references, I don't know that your profession has ever been held in higher regard by the people of this country. I may be wrong. I haven't lived forever, although sometimes it seems like it. But I'm not sure it's ever been held in higher esteem by your fellow citizens. You can hold your head high and be proud that you're a firefighter. Finally, in closing, I did want to reference the fact that as Commissioner Cheney, my good friend, by the way, he's fire marshal for the state, as you heard Director Bell say. And I know the fire marshal, among other things, is responsible for overcrowding of rooms, Commissioner. So I don't know if anybody here has a complaint about the overflow crowd. That's the man to see right there. He's the state fire marshal. He's responsible for it. So, but I do want to say this. You've heard it said, this fire academy, in some form or fashion now, some sort of first responders, around 13 to 16,000 annually, every year, are trained here. Commissioner Cheney, was that yesterday or the day before you were at the House? The day before yesterday was there. We were honoring Director Bell upon his retirement. Commissioner Cheney, in front of the entire House of Representatives, bragged on the fact that this fire academy, the Mississippi State Fire Academy, is the #1 fire academy in the United States of America. It's the truth, and the commissioner and the director get a lot of credit for that. I do handle the budget for this fire academy, just so you'll know. It's a over $5 million enterprise annually, your tax dollars, to support this effort. It's a big commitment, and it's a big priority of the taxpayers of this state. It's a big deal. And in closing, I want to emphasize, I think that's evidence of the fact that, again, it's a big deal for you today. Personal accomplishment that's tremendous, something you can be proud of the rest of your life. Your family, they're swelling with pride out there. I see buttons busting. They're so proud of you, and rightly so. Rightly so. But your community and your state has invested in what you're doing and will invest in the future in what you're doing, because what you do not only is appreciated, but it's essential. It's essential to an orderly and secure society. And I'm honored to be here with you today. And I'm deeply appreciative of having this opportunity. And even more so, I'm appreciative to you of the class of 178 for being the types of individuals to step forward and do what needs to be done for your community and for our state. Thank you.
Class 178, stand hut. Left face. Forward march. Class 178, roll call. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, class 178, all present and accounted for. Sir!
James Alexander. Charles Barenko. Ronnie Bloodsaw, Jr. Jacob Brewer. Harry Brown. Timothy Brown, Jr. Deshaun Bush. Andrew Devine, Jr. Jacob Freeland. Tristan Garriga. Rhett Gilder. Emmanuel Geis. Forrest Hendricks. Travion Jeffries. Dwight Jones, Jr. Braden McGee. Jeffrey Mung. Christopher Messenger. Y'all ready for a break? Brady Miles, Jr. Christopher Tyler Mills. Cedric Neighbors. Travis Parks. Torondo Phillips. Kennard Rossell. Malcolm Sanders, the second. Benjamin Schaefer. Zach Schumpert. Damon Smith. Grant Thurston. Gregory White. Carl White, Jr. Harris Paul Williams. Braylon Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, by the power invested in the Mississippi State Fire Academy by the laws of the state of Mississippi, I now award Class 178 the designation of firefighters in the state of Mississippi. God bless you all. That now concludes our ceremony today. I want to thank every one of you for coming down to support these guys as they start their new journey in this business. Thank you for your support for them, for the support of the state of Mississippi, and God bless you all. Be careful going home. Thank you.
Make a way for, make a way for, make a way for the King. The King is coming. Empty hearts are filling up. Wicked ways are coming undone. Every eye is looking out for you. City lights are burning out.